Why do we ask questions about the competition? And why are we not afraid to ask questions about the competition?
Because we believe in ourselves, because we're not brand new. Okay, so we're gonna ask about that because it's what they're talking about. And you always say that our biggest competitor is the conversation we're not present to. The second that they leave you, what are they doing? They're talking about you versus the competition. They're comparing you. And so I just want them doing that with me in the room than without me. And one, because that's going to help me close more deals. And second, because I know more than they do in this area. As a salesperson, you know more than your prospect does. And so it is better for you to guide them through it. And I think the way to keep that incredibly ethical is I always leave a space that somebody might be better for the competition. They might be. And if I allow that to be an option, then I can really guide them correctly when analyzing us versus them. But if I'm not there, probably what's going to happen too is they're going to get trapped. They're going to get stuck. They're going to, of every industry that we've worked with, when I look at contract next to contract, it's not apples to apples. The contracts are different. Different things are included. And so you want to be able to help them through that. That's the level of service. That's becoming the trusted advisor for them. And I think one of the, we talk about everyone saying, be a trusted advisor. But one of the litmus tests is if at this point, if you've become a trusted advisor, is to ask them, hey, show me, here's the contract I have. Show me the proposal that they gave you. Let's look at them side by side and see what's included in both. Let's see what they have that we don't have, what we have that they don't have. And let's look at it so you can really see apples to apples what's in front of you. And of, years and years, and I mean, I've been doing this at every place that I've sold. So I think I've been selling over 20 years. I've maybe had 2 people tell me, no, I'm not showing you the other contract. Maybe 2 in 20 years, 20 plus years. Like everybody at that point is like, yes. And so at that point now I can guide them and I can help them. And I'm also allowing space, and maybe once a year, twice a year, I really have somebody in front of me that the best option for them is somewhere else. And I'm okay with that. And I want to be part of that for them. If I'm really going to help them and to serve them, I want to send them to the other person if that really is the best thing for them. Now, it's very rare that will happen, but I do leave space for that.
100%. I 100% agree with that. And I love, so just to break that down from a mindset perspective. So the only reason why you're able to do that, or a top producer is able to ask questions about the competition or talk about what's good and not good about the competition's proposal, is if the goal is not to manipulate them
Correct.
or con them, but the goal is to help them achieve resolution on what's the real outcome you're trying to solve, Mr. Customer. And there's pros and cons of both the way we're going about it and the way they're going about it. And so let me just kind of walk you through the pros and cons of both so that you can make an informed decision of which is the right decision for you.
Right. I mean, we're taking them through the whole part of the, all of the sales process. And then we get down to the biggest part of the whole sales process, which is looking at one proposal versus another. And now we tell them, go do it on your own. That seems ridiculous. That is not serving them. The highest level of service that we can do for them is to serve them through the entire process and to not leave them at the very end to figure it out on their own.
That's great. Okay, so let's wrap up this competition thing. So, because I think this is important. So what advice would you give to a sales professional that is afraid to ask questions about the competition? So again, the tactical question we need to ask is, so I'm curious, besides us, who else are you considering? So that's kind of question number one. So besides us, who else are you considering? And then question number 2 would be, that's a great company. I always like to compliment them because again, what you said earlier, you want to make people feel big so they buy big. You don't ever want to make a person feel like they're dumb for even considering a competitor. So, that's a great option. I've heard about them. That's great. So tell me what you like about them, tell me what made you lean into them. Tell me what some things that they're offering. And of course, they'll then say that. And then you compliment them. Oh, I like that they do all those things. That's great. So I'm curious, sounds like that's a great company. It sounds like they're offering some great things for you. So I'm curious, what stopped you from moving forward with them? Meaning, what are they not offering you that says we still need to look at other options because we really want blank? So those are the questions that tactically people need to ask. Mm-hmm. So now my question to you though is what's the advice that you would give a salesperson to be unleashed that would get them to feel courageous and confident to ask those questions and stop being afraid to ask those questions?
I think the first thing is to go shop your competition. Shop them, chat them online, walk into their space of business, call them, do contact us forms. I cannot think of a single situation where I'm working with somebody, a salesperson or a company, and I have them shop their competition where they haven't come back feeling super empowered. See, they're making out this competitor over here in their mind to have everything and to be so good and all, and it's so mystical and secret. And once you go see it, you're like, I've been scared of that the whole time. And it takes away all of that. It makes it less scary to talk about them. I think the other thing just to think about is one of the biggest things in selling and in pitching is editing. As a salesperson, you know so much about your product, so much about your industry, so much about your company. The problem is you don't have time to give all of your knowledge to somebody else. So if you can find a way that your prospect tells you the things that they really like about your industry, which is asking about your competition, what did you like about them? What made you lean into them? Your questions that you asked. Well, if I have all of those things, I now know ahead of time the things that I need to edit in to my pitch and presentation for them. So I'm now able to customize my pitch. I also know what did they not like about it? Oh my gosh, we do that. I know later. I'm gonna hold on to that later. I'm gonna make sure that I emphasize that in my pitch. I'm not gonna edit that part out because that's what was missing for them somewhere else. So what I like about these questions the most is it allows me to be incredibly custom when I go to present my options to them later. Now I'm saying later because as somebody is saying, I like this about the company. I like this about this other company. I don't want to go, oh, we do that too. Me too. I do that. I mean, it's so obnoxious. Just play it cool, handle it, hold on to it. They say what they don't like about it. If you know that you do it, don't tell them right then, hold on to it. But no, the next step is I'm getting ready to pitch and present. And now it's going to be completely custom and exactly perfect for that person. I've got them. That's your checkmate that they don't know you know that you've got them in checkmate. They don't know that yet. And then, 10 minutes later when you go to pitch them, it's done.